Cell phones? Okay. Good evening, everyone. We're ready to begin tonight's City of Gardena City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 10th, 2019. Madam City Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Madam Mayor, all council members are present.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Whalen, do you have anything to report from closed session?
No reportable action was taken.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, we're going to begin with our Pledge of Allegiance, and tonight it will be led by two students from our Sister City Association, and that is Laura Thompson and Rachel Carter. If you two can come forward at this time, and immediately following that, we'll be led in our invocation tonight by the Reverend Douglas Brown. So everyone, please stand at this time.
Face the flag, put your right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Continue standing. If we could have Reverend Brown, please come forward.
Mayor Serta and council people, it's good to be with you again. Ladies, you wield that gavel with great authority, maybe signs of things to come. I'm privileged to serve at Gardena Valley Baptist Church, which existed before the city was incorporated. And our commitment to the city is as strong as it was when the city was incorporated. We're blessed to be here and support and bless you. Let's pray together. Lord God, we thank you for these who lead our city, who are stakeholders and gatekeepers, but we address you as the chief stakeholder and gatekeeper for the city of Gardena. We bless you, Lord God, who created the heavens and the earth, who is with us now, who is faithful to us. And we ask that you would give these leaders wisdom to govern with discernment and according to your heart and your good pleasure for the city. We bless those who come and bring petitions, those who are of the city who are here this evening, those law enforcement officers, and those who protect our city. We ask you to bless them. So, Lord, we ask you convene this meeting, rule over it, and bless all that happens here. And we ask it in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
You may be seated. If I can have our two pledgers come back to the front, Laura and Rachel. So tonight's Pledge of Allegiance was led by our youth members from our Gardena Sister City Association. Laura Thompson is 14 years old, and Rachel Carter is also 14. Both Laura and Rachel were in the Sister City youth delegation that went to Ichikawa, Japan this summer to represent the city of Gardena. They're both in the 9th grade. Laura attends Palisades Charter High School, and Rachel attends Los Angeles Center for Enriched Studies. She is the daughter of City of Gardena Police Reserve Officer Andre Carter, and she is also my niece. So, so I'm going to begin with Laura tonight. Laura, can you tell us who brought you to tonight's meeting?
Yes, my father, Dale Thompson, brought me to tonight's meeting.
Okay, everyone, let's give him a round of applause. And Laura, is there anything you'd like to say?
I'd like to thank the City of Gardena and Gardena Sister City for providing me with opportunities such as the trip to Ichikawa, Japan.
Okay, thank you very much. Rachel, would you like to tell us who brought you to tonight's meeting and introduce whoever you like?
So I have my dad, Andre Carter. I have my brother and sister, Ethan and Lauren Carter. I have my grandmother and both grandmothers, Jackie Carter and Trell Serta. And I have my mom with me, Tony Carter, and and Anthony, too.
And your brother and sister.
I already said yes.
Okay, very good. Well, let's give them a round of applause, too, for coming out. And is there anything you'd like to say?
I would like to thank the City of Gardena and Gardena Sister City Association for allowing me to represent the City of Gardena as a delegate. The trip to Ichikawa, Japan was a great experience. I was able to experience Japanese culture, and participate in the various activities. I would also like to thank Miss Susie Santana for chaperoning us in Japan. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. So I'd like to thank both of you guys for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance as well as representing us in Ichikawa, Japan. And I hope you guys both continue in the Sister City organization and representing us in Mexico and Japan moving forward into the future. So thank you again for that. Okay. If I could have Reverend Brown please come back to the front. So tonight's invocation was led by the Reverend Douglas Brown, who is the senior pastor at Gardena Valley Baptist Church, which is located at 1630 West 158th Street. Reverend Douglas Brown has served as a senior pastor at Gardena Valley Baptist Church since May 1st of 2017. For the previous 8 years, he served as a senior pastor at Karen Vineyard Church in Nairobi, Kenya. Reverend Brown was raised in Belgium, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Israel. He returned to the United States to attend a university, followed by graduate work at Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena. Afterward, Reverend Brown became the academic dean of a Bible college in Israel and eventually returned to California, where he taught at Azusa Pacific University. More recently, Reverend Brown pastored an international church in Kenya, launched a leadership training program for local leaders, as well as a microfinance business training program in an effort to address poverty issues. Senior Pastor Brown and his wife, Sue, have 4 children and 10 grandchildren. He and his wife feel blessed to be a part of the city of Gardena and continue to seek ways that they, along with Gardena Valley Baptist Church, might help the city to flourish. Reverend Brown, would you like to say anything else?
Just simply, the ladies are really an example of what we want to invest in terms of the future and creating opportunity for young people. So really great to be with you this evening. Really proud of what you guys have done. More power to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much as well. So next on our agenda, we have our new custom where we honor a military veteran in our community. And tonight, the veteran who was chosen was Mr. John P. Caper, and he was selected by Councilmember Henderson. So Councilmember Henderson, would you like to say anything before I read his bio?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I definitely want to, with our new custom of honoring veterans, which I think is very important, and we've reached out to a lot of veterans in our community, I always felt it's always important to recognize our veterans that served in Vietnam. As we all know, when a lot of our comrades had come back home from Vietnam, the welcome they received was not as warm and sincere as it could have been at no fault of their own. They're just serving their country. So any opportunity I get to acknowledge Vietnam veterans is something that's really important to me. And also, Mr. Caper also earned a Purple Heart, which is, I won't say earned, but received a Purple Heart. So, you know, most of us know what happens to you to get a Purple Heart. So I felt this is something that's a high honor, and we should honor all our veterans, but our Vietnam veterans especially. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to read his bio at this time. So it reads as follows. Born in Anchorage, Alaska, Mr. John P. Caper is 73 years old and a lifelong resident of Gardena. His military service includes, when 19 years old, Mr. Caper enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps on January 6, 1966, and served until he was honorably discharged on March 10, 1969, with the Marine Occupational Specialty of 0311 Infantry Rifleman and the rank of Corporal E4. His military service was during the Vietnam War. While in Vietnam, he was the Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 7th Motor Transport from March 1967 to October 1967. Then transferred to Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment, 1st Division, and then served with them from October 1967 until June 1968. When he was wounded as his unit was conducting a search and destroy operation and made contact with North Vietnam troops in the Khe Sanh area. Khe Sanh, thank you, in the Khe Sanh area. Because of his injury, Caper was transported back to America on the USS Repose AH-16, admitted to Long Beach Naval Hospital and was a patient there for 8 months, recovering from a gunshot wound. While hospitalized, he was placed on a temporary disabled list until he was discharged. His awards include, for Marine Corporal John Caper's exemplary military service, he was awarded the following: the Good Conduct Medal, the Vietnam Campaign Medal, the Purple Heart Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal 1 Star, the Marksman Rifle Shooting Badge. So along with receiving tonight's recognition, Mr. Caper will also receive a special coin that, he's already received it, a special coin that was specifically made for tonight's honor, as well as he will receive complimentary pictures and a DVD of tonight's meeting. His picture will also be displayed on the electronic sign on the corner of Redondo Beach Boulevard and Western. So congratulations, Mr. Caper. And before you say something to come up to speak, Mayor Pro Tem has another award from our Assembly member, Almar Succi. And I believe his representative
66th District.
is here tonight. She'll be speaking later on, but he's going to go ahead and read that for right now.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Caper, I do have a certificate of recognition from our Assembly member, Al Muratsushi, reads as follows. Certificate of recognition to Mr. John P. Caper, United States Marine Corps, in recognition and celebration of your dedication and service to the United States of America, and with sincere appreciation of your selfless act of courage, signed by Assembly member Muratsushi, 66th District, on September the 10th, 2019. Mr. Caper, we appreciate your service too as well. Thank you.
Mr. Caper, at this time, if you'd like to come forward and just say a few words. And when you come to the podium right here, if you can just hit the little button on the right there. There you
Have
go.
contact? Okay. Well, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect this evening, and it's been a very warm and hospitable greeting. And can't thank Mark Henderson enough to nominate or recommend me for coming up here. And yes, having come from, flown back on a C-141 from Vietnam to in a hospital plane, et cetera, at other Vietnam veterans, this is really a nice homecoming because we didn't really get that. So I want to thank the mayor and members of the city council for making and recognizing all of our veterans. It's a very important thing that you've done, and I appreciate it very much. And I want to, again, thank my fellow Navy guy here. If it wasn't for the Navy corpsmen, I wouldn't be here. So I would also want to thank the Gold Star parents over here, Charlotte and Chris Lynch. Charlotte helped encourage me to come forward. And then Chris did the bio and the photos and everything. And as Gold Star members, they unfortunately lost their son some years ago. So we want to acknowledge them for that. So again, thank you very, very much for a warm and welcoming home ceremony here. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Want to push the button off?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so next at this time, we have a presentation from the Asian American Drug Abuse Program, ADAP, and I believe the presentation is going to be given tonight by Carol Almada. You can come forward at this time. Okay.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Tasha Serda, members of the City Council. My presentation will be on reducing youth access to tobacco products. Vaping among underage youth has reached epidemic proportions on a national scale, as declared by the Surgeon General and the Center for Disease Control. Jump in vaping among 10th and 12th graders from 2017 to 2018 is the largest on record for any substance, according to Monitoring the Future study. 1 in 4 high school students and about 1 in 14 middle school students in 2018 had used a tobacco product in the past 30 days. In Los Angeles County, 1 in 5 high school students vaped, used an e-cigarette within the past month. Kids report vaping as early as 12 years of age. Majority of youth who start experimenting with tobacco begin with flavored tobacco. 80% of young people who have ever used tobacco started with a flavored tobacco product. That is translated into 7 to 8 out of 10 teens have used a flavored product in the past 30 days. The relentless and corrupting efforts of the tobacco industry to overstretch the market have devastatingly lured youth to use of flavored tobacco products. There are more than 15,000 flavors of tobacco products. They mimic our childhood favorites of strawberry, chocolate, bubblegum, including mint, to name a few. However, in reality, these flavors are used in scheming ways to mask, conceal the brain poison and the most addictive substance, which is nicotine. Local jurisdictions have taken policy-based actions to address the issue in ways that are more or less self-reliant with state and federal legislative actions. In fact, 30 jurisdictions in California have already adopted policies imposing a ban in varying degrees on the sale of flavored tobacco products. May I cite to you that last week, September 3rd, Redondo Beach City Council has already passed a tobacco retail licensing calling for a total ban on the sales of flavored tobacco products. Before that was Hermosa Beach, another neighboring city of Gardena. And in a few days or in a few weeks, LA City is taking an action to ban flavored tobacco products in the unincorporated area. I believe that Gardena shares borders with one unincorporated area. The historical track record of Gardena is exceptional when it comes to passing public health policies. In fact, Gardena is one of the very first cities in LA County to pass a tobacco retail licensing ordinance. And this was more than a decade ago, in 2008. But the city of Gardena, the city council never stopped with did not stop with only a tobacco retail licensing ordinance. It feels the pulse and it studies the trends. Okay, so much so that in 2012, with the emergence of new tobacco products, it amended its TRL to prohibit the sale of single cigars. And another one in 2014, it amended to regulate the sale of electronic cigarettes and prohibit use of electronic cigarettes in public parks. In these critical times, the city of Gardena will never stop. In fact, the community of Gardena, vigilant as ever, and working closely with its government, have already spoken through public opinion survey conducted by ADAP, which is guided by the LA County Department of Public Health, showing strong support for a ban on flavored tobacco products. I will show you two reports generated by the LA County Department of Public Health on Gardena. The first report will show an 86% supporting a ban on flavored tobacco product. These are public opinion survey results, okay? And this was done last year, between July and December of last year. We updated our data. We updated our data by continuing to do and to conduct public opinion survey, And in the data that we generated between May and July of this year, it validates the strong support found among Gardena residents for strengthening regulation of local tobacco retailers. We aren't only backed up by public opinion survey. We also did. ADAP also conducted what we called a young adult purchase survey. This is some kind of a quasi-sting operation to determine the willingness of tobacco retailers to sell to underage youth. We did not employ. We asked the participation of youth volunteers between the ages of 18 to 20 years old, and we found out, that 43% of retailers selling vapes, electronic cigarettes, to be willing to sell to this youth. 43%, which is many times the county average. The county average is only about 7%. In conclusion, may I cite another research? This is the research done by the Department of Preventive Medicine, Keck School of Medicine, University of Southern California, which can be used as a guidepost and as a reference. This says there is direct correlation between restrictive tobacco retail licensing ordinance and the decline in the youth use of tobacco products. I have left decision maker kits for each and every member of the City Council containing fact sheets on flavored tobacco, researches done by the University of Southern California, and most of all, the matrix showing the jurisdictions that have adopted total flavor ban on the sale of flavored tobacco products. And Madam Mayor, City Council, if you will allow, I know I haven't used all of my time. I brought with me, we have 2 youths coming from Gardena High School, members of our high school task force, and they will render their testimony about the issue. Thanks.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Valentina, and I am a Gardena High School student. I am currently a sophomore and a high school task force member. I have been a member for a year, going for my second year, and today I am going to talk about the issues I face every day with vaping. Every day in my 4th period, there are 12 boys who are always vaping in the classroom. Every time I go in the classroom, it seems like there is a cloud at the end of the room. I got sick last week. Since they vape always, I cough more and feel suffocated in that classroom because I have to be exposed to vaping from 40 to 50 minutes a day because there is no way of skipping that class. Thank you for listening. That's everything.
Good afternoon. I'm Kelia Rojas, and I'm also from Gardena High School, but I'm a senior, so I've been there for 4 years. Some things I've noticed is that most of the kids and the students in classes, they are vaping comfortably in class. And the teachers, they really don't give harsh consequences because they seem like they don't want to be in trouble with the students because they're so vicious and uncontrollable. It's hard when I'm in class because all I really want to do is learn, but all the students want to do is like vape and smoke. So yeah, thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause. Do you want to say something? Mr. City
Madam
Manager?
Mayor, the city has partnered with ADAP on the tobacco retail licensing ordinance and other amendments to our municipal code over the last decade or so. ADAP asked to do this presentation for council consideration, obviously a policy decision on whether the council wants to direct staff to bring back a ordinance similar to the ones our other South Bay cities have proposed, and that was the purpose of this presentation.
Okay, well, I'm sure tonight during our directives, we will probably, one of us will probably make that recommendation at the appropriate time. Okay. Council member, go ahead.
Just for those of you who've been watching TV and the news, they've announced another death for vaping, and some of the kids don't realize that the nicotine can cause death. Nationwide, we've had approximately 450,000 illnesses that have been sent to the hospital, where kids have been sent to the hospital, and I mean kids under 16. So I highly hope that we all push forward to ban the sale of vaping in the city of Gardena, especially some of those flavored vapes that one of the deaths had to do with one of the vaping units exploding in the guy's face. So it's not just the nicotine, but also there's no regulation on how they make those vaping electronic holders. So be careful.
Okay. So at this time, I'd just like to thank Ms. Almeida for the presentation that you gave and just enlightening us a little bit more on what's happening with vaping, and because that was kind of surprising to me, as well as I'd like to thank those young people from Gardena High School for also sharing your firsthand experiences of what's going on in your school. So thank you for coming forward and just sharing that with us. So I'm sure we now a lot more knowledgeable on that. I had no idea that they were doing that in class like that. So yeah, okay, thank you. So at this time, we're going to move on to a couple of proclamations here. The first one is the City of Gardena 89th Anniversary Day. So the City of Gardena, California was incorporated on Thursday, September 11th, 1930, combining the rural communities of Gardena, Moneta, and Strawberry Park into a municipal corporation. At that time, Gardena was a small farming community of about 20,000 people. 89 years later, with a population of over 61,000 residents, Gardena has developed into a busy, desirable destination for new residents and a welcoming setting for visitors and corporate citizens. In sustained and fitting recognition of Gardena's 75th anniversary landmark theme, which is celebrating history, heritage, and opportunity, we have continued over the past 14 years to celebrate with great pride our cultural wealth and remarkable ethnic diversity through our annual city and community events and activities. So I'm very proud to proclaim Wednesday, September 11th to be City of Gardena 89th Anniversary Day, and to bring appropriate recognition and awareness of our beautiful community, multifaceted history, and rich heritage, and look forward to the opportunities to celebrate its progress and success far into our city's future. We have two more proclamations here. The next one is Constitution Week, which is September 17th through the 23rd. September 17th, 2019 marks the 232nd anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. Public Law 915 guarantees the issuance of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week, and therefore it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and to its memorable anniversary. The National Society of the Daughters of American Revolution began the celebration of Constitution Week, and it's just one of the numerous devoted and patriotic organizations that will be celebrating the 232nd anniversary of the drafting of this momentous and unique document. So I hereby proclaim September 17th through 23rd, 2019 to be Constitution Week in the City of Gardena, and I urge all citizens to study the Constitution and to reflect on the privileges as well as the rights and responsibilities of being an American. The last proclamation I have here is for the 20th annual Keep Gardena Beautiful Day. On Saturday, September 21st, 2019, volunteers representing community groups, individual citizens, and City of Gardena elected officials and city staff will work together for an annual community cleanup day. These dedicated volunteers will work to keep Gardena beautiful by sprucing up our city parks, by cleaning the right-of-ways along our streets, as well as by working with our neighborhoods. Also, flowers will be planted, painting will be done, and minor fix-ups will be accomplished. City manager, staff, supported by members of the General Services Department, in conjunction with the Gardena Beautification Committee, are coordinating all projects for the day. Following these worthwhile activities, community cleanup participants are invited to enjoy lunch at the Gardena Mas Fukai Park. In recognition and support of Gardena's community-wide beautification effort, Saturday, September 21st, 2019 is proclaimed to be the 20th annual Keep Gardena Beautiful Day. To encourage our many caring citizens and city officials and staff to unite on this special day to carry out the project's plan to beautify and benefit our community. Let's take pride in making Gardena a better place in which to live, work, visit, shop, and play. So if you haven't signed up to participate, the deadline to do so is Friday, September 13th, and you can call 310-217-9503. So we are still looking for organizations that would like to participate with us on that. So with that, we're going to move on to item 4C1, which is appointments. Does any member of the council have any appointments to be made to any commissions, committees, councils, or boards? If not, we're going to move on to our consent calendar. Does any member of the council wish to discuss any item that's on the consent calendar? If not, can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar as is?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay. Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Medina and a second by Councilmember Tanaka. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Medina,
Yes.
Councilmember Tanaka,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian,
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Okay, next is Planning and Environmental Quality Commission action sheet, item number 7A1. Does any member of the council have any questions in regards to this here? If not, we're going to receive and file this item. Item number 7A2, do you have any questions regarding conditional use permit 119? If not, we're going to go ahead and receive and file that item as well. Item number 7A3, which is conditional use permit 419. Does any member have any questions or comments? If not, we're going to receive and file that as well. Next up is oral communications. We have 4 speakers tonight. And we're going to begin tonight with Cheryl Sherman. And then after that, Stacy Trinidad and Doreen Eason, and then the Gracias Music Foundation. I believe the representative is Tiffany Shin. So if you can come forward at this time, just like to remind all of our speakers that you are to limit your remarks to 3 minutes unless extended by myself. When the yellow light here comes on, that will alert you that your 2 minutes are up. When the red light comes on, that will alert you that your 3 minutes are up. And at that time, we ask that you please finish your sentence and stop at that time. So I appreciate your cooperation in advance. So, Ms. Sherman, we'll begin with you.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. I would like to have everyone mark their calendar for October the 13th. That is the second Sunday in October, where the preserve is open to the public, and our theme for that day will be History of the Area. And the docent leading this activity will be none other than our wonderful Sherry Roberts, and she is the individual that saved the Gardena Willows Wetland Preserve so that we have it to enjoy today. So she will be sharing a lot of wonderful history about the preserve, and this is a day that you don't want to miss. She will be having lots of things with her to share, to show you. It's going to be a very fun and educational outing. Great for little ones, older ones, teens, college, and adults, so all ages. The activity starts at 1:15, the tour. The preserve is open at 1, from 1 to 4 on that day. So I hope to see you there. And remember, the Gardena Willows Wetland Preserve is the only federally protected preserve in the entire South Bay, which means it's owned by all of you. It's owned by the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Stacy Trinidad.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Sarda, City Council members, city staff, the guests in the audience, and the people watching us at home. My name is Stacy Trinidad, and I'm from the Office of Assemblymember Al-Mudasuchi, and today I'm here to give you a legislative update regarding the work that the Assemblymember is doing in Sacramento. So as we stand, we're pretty much at the end of the legislative session. So AB 39, which is increase LCFF targets, so pretty much is what the member's trying to do is he's trying to increase the amount that the schools get so that our schools can be at a higher pupil spending. That one was ordered as of September 3rd, 2019. It's in the Senate, and it was ordered for a third reading. AB 720, which helps the community college public safety instruction service agreements, as of August the 30th, is in the Senate and is held under submission. AB 308, which is an exemption for military-owned business constituents who are in active duty for tax exemption. That one, as of September 9, is in the Senate. This bill was ordered for a third reading as well. AB 342, which is the oil and gas supporting infrastructure, as of September the 5th. It passed the Senate floor and now is in the Assembly in concurrence. AB 912, the State Lands Commission for marine invasive species for ballast water, as of September the 5th, 2019. It was enrolled and presented to the governor at 3 p.m. and it's in his desk, and he has until mid of October to either sign it into law or to veto that bill. And AB 272, smartphone school bans, was signed into law on July 1st, 2019, which pretty much allows the schools to adopt a policy to prohibit or restrict the use of smartphones on school grounds during school hours. Also, he co-authored SB 38 because he is also concerned of the vaping that is happening with their youth. So he hopes to continue working hard in Sacramento to help us, pass legislation that will help our communities thrive. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Doreen Eason. Doreen Eason with the Credit Restoration Class Workshop? No? Okay. Next, we have Gracias Music Foundation, where the representative is Ms. Tiffany Shen. Oh, hit the button.
Okay. Honorable Mayor and then council members, it's really nice meeting you. My name is Tiffany from Gracias Music Foundation. So our music foundation is a non-profit organization. And then we wanted to invite each and every members in different cities. And then we're having Christmas cantata in September 29th, there will be two show times, which is going to be 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. in Long Beach Beautiful Terrace Theater. And then I just wanted to introduce about our music foundation a little more. So our Grassroots Music Choir, they started off 9 members. They had no musical background whatsoever. But they received the promise of founder that they will be the world's best choir. So in the time span of 10 years, that promise became true in 2014. If you already received this flyer in the back, they won the first prize and grand prize at the highest level of choral competition in both Germany and Switzerland. So they are officially the world's best choir. And we are reaching out to 180,000 people every year in 26 different cities in 30 days. So if you actually look at the flyer inside, it's like kind of like schedule. We go visit so many different cities in 30 days. And once in a lifetime, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to see what the world's best choir looks like and sounds like. So you don't want to miss it. This event is open to the public with a small donation of $20 more per seat. So hopefully everyone can make it and enjoy the beautiful music that makes everyone happy. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next we're going to move on to departmental items. First item up is item number A1. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor Serta, members of the City Council, Assistant City Manager Clint Osorio is going to take agenda item number 8A1 and agenda item 8D1.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor Serta and members of the City Council. Agenda number 8A1 is the acceptance of project and notice of completion of the Nakaoka Center AV Improvement Project, Vector USA. On May 14, 2019, Vector USA was awarded the Nakaoka Center AV Improvement Project that will improve the existing infrastructure and provide the Nakaoka Center with a new audiovisual system. These improvements will provide suitable support to all new audiovisual equipment and allow the city to utilize state-of-the-art equipment for city events. To give you an overview of what's been done, we've installed a rear mount laser projector that's capable of 4K video resolution, a motorized projection screen that's 164 inches wide, an 86-inch display mounted at the rear of the Nakaoka Center, a 70-inch display in the Nakaoka lobby that's also capable of 4K resolution, a wireless presentation system, a Blu-ray player, and a touchscreen control rack with 5 HDMI inputs. The city utilized Planet Bids, but also posted the RFP on the city website as well as a public notice in the GVN. No local vendors responded to the RFP. Staff recommends that the City Council accept the work and order the recordation of notice of completion for this project. The project will be funded by Park and Lieu funds in the amount of $78,210.30 and has no financial impact on the general fund budget. What's required is to accept the project and order the recordation of notice of completion.
Okay, thank you. Does any member of the council have any questions or comments? We're going to start here with Councilmember Medina and then go on over to Councilmember Henderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just had a question with regards to the sound system itself. Was there any additions to the transceivers and transformers that send out, aside from having the regular XLR microphone inputs, are you also going to have USB and flash drive and up-to-date modern stuff where you can get a sound out of it? Because in the past, we've had to get a microphone and record a boombox or record a radio or a TV or something, you know, whatever it is that we had for sound. We didn't have an up-to-date system that you can connect the USB or connect the flash drive or connect something that we all use, especially on our phones where we have those mini input plugs for sound. So the question is, Have we provided that type of modern system?
Yes, Councilman. The system is state-of-the-art. The rack itself is about maybe six feet high, and it's got all kinds of inputs like HDMI, USB. But I'll be sure to check all of the specifications, and if you'd like, I could send you all the specs.
Yeah, I'd appreciate if you send it to all of us, because we have guests that sometimes come in with a flash drive, or sometimes they'll just come in with a phone, for that matter, where they want to get their sound to get background singing and so forth and so on. It's just there are times where the outdated stuff couldn't be utilized, and I'm really glad that we updated everything. So I'd appreciate it if you send it to all of us.
Will do, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor Serta, members of City Council, this is a complete new audio system. So it has brand new speakers. It is a completely comprehensive system that I think you'll be very, very pleased with when we use it.
Okay. Councilmember Henderson?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. City Manager, Mr. Assistant City Manager, I know this will be a separate project, but I appreciate the audio-visual upgrades, but could we use Park and Lieu funds also to upgrade the wireless infrastructure in there, or is that part of our city infrastructure, so therefore we can use Park and Lieu, or is that going to be a separate project considered from upgrades in the Admin Services Department?
Councilman Henderson, are you referring to Wi-Fi? Yes, so we're currently working right now in contract with the COG, the Council of Governments. We already submitted our specifications for the wireless and broadband that they're going to be rolling out to the South Bay. So that's all. We can certainly tap into Park and Lieu funds for that big project.
Thank you.
And I might add too that I think 3 major parks are going to be getting that fiber optic internet.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? My only comment is thank you. It was very well, wait, long overdue, yes. So I'm very happy that we have these improvements now here. So I'm sure the community will be very happy as well. So with that, if there are no other questions, can I get a motion to accept the project and notice of completion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Medina and a second by Councilmember Henderson. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Medina.
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian.
Yes.
Councilmember Tanaka. Yes. Mayor Serta.
Yes. Okay, next up is item number 8D1, Mr. City, Acting City Manager, well, Assistant City Manager, thank you. It's going to take a little while to get used to. Assistant City Manager.
Mayor Serta and members of the City Council, agenda number 8D1 is the approval of $70,000 of budget appropriation to the 170th Street improvement from Normandy Avenue to Vermont Avenue, job number 944, to expand the scope. Staff recommends that the City Council approve a budget appropriation of $70,000 from Measure M local return funds to the 170th Street improvement project. Additional funds will be utilized to expand ADA compliance improvements, such as access ramps, and implement a longer design pavement life. The approval of the budget appropriation will augment the fiscal year 1920 budgeted $500,000 Federal Surface Transportation Program Local, or STPL, funds. There are sufficient funds available in the Measure M Local Return Fund for the requested budget appropriation. Fiscal impact is $70,000 coming from the Measure M Local Return Fund, and what's required is to approve the budget appropriation for job number 944, 170th Street improvement.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments at this time? We're going to start here with Councilmember Medina and then go to Henderson.
Yes, with regards to, I guess what we've done in the past with regards to, they're going to do any, I guess, asphalt removal or not?
Councilman, I think what this is going to entail would be to enhance ADA compliance, such as access ramps, and I think they're also going to be using, doing some thicker grind and overlay asphalt pavements. So yes, there will be some asphalt.
Okay, so
components to it.
in the past, we've had the rebate for them recycling some of the asphalt that they take with them and then reimburse us at the date of the project. So we're hoping that still continues.
Yes, what's been done in the past would be the same
Okay.
practice, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Henderson?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. Assistant City Manager, in regards to us expanding the scope, Measure M is not going to, I won't say penalize us, but kind of put us on notice that we've expanded the scope, although we initially asked for a certain amount, and now this came up. They're not going to penalize us for asking for this additional support of this expanded scope?
No, sir. The fund itself can handle the expansion. What's required later on would be to notice our financial auditors for the additional scope. There's plenty of money in the fund. It's just about $830,000 that's come in.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve the budget appropriation for 170th Street improvement?
So moved.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Medina and second by Councilmember Cascanian. I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Medina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian,
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Tanaka,
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Next up is item number 8F1. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor Serta, members of the City Council, agenda number 8F1 is the approve the mini pitch program grant agreement for Bell Park for fiscal year 2020. Up on the screens is a picture of the mini pitch facilities. As you recall, a very similar program was put in place at Freeman Park. To promote active and healthy lifestyles among youth, the U.S. Soccer Foundation awarded the city the mini pitch program grant at Bell Park. Mini pitches are quality, customized areas that are well suited for organized soccer programs and pickup games. The mini pitch program grant includes an installation of an acrylic mini pitch surface with goals and lighting that's valued at about $100,000. Prior to the installation, the city will obtain all the permits, authorizations, and consents necessary for the installation and construction of the mini pitch facility. Upon completion, the mini pitch will be maintained by city staff in accordance with vendors' recommendations and user safety guidelines. The grant agreement requires the city to allow the foundation unlimited use of the mini pitch for 1 day per year for the first 5 years, which is not a lot of time considering the amount of money they're giving us. The city is also required to give scheduling priority to the foundation's after-school program, Soccer for Success, for a minimum of 24 weeks per year, 3 days a week. The city will submit an annual impact reports and photographs of usage to the foundation for 3 years after its installation. The cost associated with the mini pitch is city staff time only and some electrical and concrete work that will be done by city staff. There is no fiscal impact other than de minimis work that we're going to be doing at the park. What is required is to approve the mini pitch program grant agreement for Bell Park fiscal year 2020. Many of you may have seen the one at Freeman Park already.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments at this time? Councilmember Medina.
Yes, with regards to the Freeman Park project, the people in the construction they were awesome. I live like 4 feet from Freeman Park, not one single sound. They were really, really quiet. I woke up the next day, boom, they was there. So I'm sure the neighbors, because there's a lot of apartments right around Bell Park, they'll never know they were there. They were just very professional. They were in, they were out, and it's built.
Okay, great. I'm glad to hear such a positive report about them. So if there are no other questions or comments, can I get a motion to approve the mini pitch program grant agreement for Bell Park?
So moved.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Medina and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Medina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian,
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Tanaka,
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Next up is item number 8G1. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor Serta, members of the City Council, Agenda Number 8G1 is approval of an agreement with Red Kite Consulting, Inc. for training services not to exceed the amount of $75,000. Over the past few years, G-Trans has experienced over 10 incidents which staff has confronted passengers, or passengers have confronted staff, and/or damage has occurred on our buses. One of these incidents recently escalated into a full fight on the bus involving one of our employees. To help prepare staff for these difficult situations and increase resiliency, G-Trans is seeking assistance to conduct a comprehensive de-escalation and customer service training for all bus operators and transit route supervisors. Staff recommends that the City Council approve a professional services agreement with Red Kite Consulting, Inc. for employee training services for a total project cost not to exceed $75,000. Red Kite Consulting, Inc. has worked with frontline and first responder organizations, including public transit systems, for over 10 years and uses a, quote, post-war reconstruction model that focuses on addressing behavioral health, violence prevention, trauma education, and conflict transformation. Other transit systems that utilize this training demonstrated significant reduction in assaults, negligent driving performance, and absenteeism, and a substantial increase in customer satisfaction. Approximately 110 employees will be trained, including both part-time and full-time bus operators and supervisors. The training will cost $65,950 and includes a needs assessment to customize the training course as we deemed appropriate. G-Trans is requesting an additional $9,000 to accommodate any unforeseen changes, such as training for new employees or rescheduling costs that may arise during this training. The cost of the training services is funded using local sources available to G-Trans. There's no general fund impact. What is required by the City Council is to approve the agreement.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Councilmember Tanaka?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a quick one. We're doing 110 employees. How many does that leave out, and are they eventually going to be trained in this?
The 110 employees is pretty much going to capture the entire workforce, certainly all the public-facing positions within G-Trans. So we don't see any foreseeable gaps in that.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mr. City Manager, what I understood is the Red Kite Consulting Company, they're going to provide like a service to train the employees to stay calm during a...
De-escalate.
Or, I mean, it's...
De-escalate.
Let me rather give it to you in sort of a story. You know, bus operators have a very difficult job. Many times they're confronted by customers who may either be under the influence of drugs or have mental health conditions and are going to get on the bus. This will give, along with everything else, predominantly will give our bus operators and other staff the tools necessary to de-escalate those situations so we can reduce confrontations on the buses. Also gives them skills to enhance their customer service delivery. You know, not that long ago, I recently watched a video of one of our employees involved in it was in a physical fight. I've seen other videos where our bus drivers were assaulted. These are additional tools to recognize potential threats, to take the proper action, to de-escalate people when they're starting to build up in towards a confrontation. All those wraparound skills that they need to ensure that, number one, our customers are safe, number two, that our drivers are safe, and three, that we deliver the best customer service to our community.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I have a question. So let's just say a new employee starts a year from now. Will we have like the training material to share with the new employee who potentially could be a bus driver, this information? I mean, will we be given something later on for anybody new? Or will our trainers be trained in that to share with our new employees?
So as we capture, point in time we're going to get our employees trained. There's always turnover in any organization. As new employees come in, that'll be part of their, onboarding. At some point, they're going to receive that training as well. This is not a one-time, let's just capture everyone who's here and the new folks won't get the training. This is going to be part of a more comprehensive, long-term approach where all employees should receive this training at some time during their employment.
Okay, sounds good. Well, if this works, maybe it might be good for some of our other employees who deal with the public as well, so. Did you have something additional to add to it?
No, I was just going to say, would it be something we would expand to other departments if necessary?
Yes, Red Kite Consulting does a lot of work in the transit space. I'm not sure if they do work in the other spaces. I'm sure they probably do. There are a lot of our public-facing employees that do have confrontations. Our right-of-way crew, for example, is often picking up things. Sometimes they're picking up things that belong to homeless individuals, and they get, some confrontations there. Our graffiti removal personnel as well. I mean, there's a lot of different areas where potential conflicts may arise. So this type of training is, I think, useful for all employees. It's just the high frequency that our bus drivers and the volume of people that are encountered on a daily basis in G-Trans is certainly significant and more significant than the other departments.
Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, can I get a motion to approve the agreement?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Madam City Clerk, there was a motion made by Councilmember Medina and a second by Councilmember Henderson. Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Medina,
Yes.
Councilmember Henderson,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Cascanian,
Yes.
Councilmember Tanaka,
Yes.
Mayor Serta.
Yes. Next, we're going to move on to council directives. Does any member of the council have any directives at this time?
I'll make that one.
Okay. What's your directive?
I'll entertain the directive regarding ADAP, and that we formulate our ordinance to at least prohibit the flavored vapes, if not maybe all of them.
Second.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Mayor, certain members of the City Council, I understand that to look at the flavored tobacco ordinance, would you prefer also that we conduct an evaluation of what other cities have done and give you a comprehensive approach to all of the issues raised in the presentation?
I think that would be a good idea. I think so. Hit your button. There you go.
ADAP did mention that there were at least 3 other beach cities that have put ordinances in, so I think we need to kind of at least be in the same arena.
We will direct staff to provide a report and give the council options for modifications of our current municipal code related to this.
And thank ADAP for bringing that to us.
Okay. Any other directives? No? Okay. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Councilmember Medina?
I just wanted to make sure that it includes all the vaping, not just the flavored ones, for the sake of the youth, not necessarily for the adults, but for the youth.
The non-flavored or just plain ones? or-
Yeah, because there are some non-flavored vapes that just flat out smoke.
Okay, we'll include that. That's fine.
So that's a range of different options we will provide for you.
That sounds good. Okay. Any other directives at this time? No? Okay, so at this time, we're going to move on to the city manager remarks regarding directives and council items.
Mayor, certain members of the City Council, I'll first start off by an announcement on September 12th at 10:30 a.m. Deputy Chief Mike Safel will be promoted, or should I say Captain Safel will be promoted by Chief Kang to Deputy Chief here in the council chambers at 10:30 a.m. All of you should have a notice of that. There's a memo in your package regarding the pavement conditions at the railroad crossing along Western Avenue that was brought up by Councilman Tanaka. And there is a plan moving forward to address the conditions there. One of the things that we're very, very proud of is that the city of Gardena has been selected as a finalist for the LAEDC Most Business-Friendly City.
The Eddie Awards.
And absolutely. This is the second time we've been a finalist, but I will honestly tell you, our application this time far exceeds the one that we had submitted before. There have been major strides in terms of our approach to being business friendly and moving forward with economic development. You've seen many presentations over the last 6 to 8 months, year on what's going on, and I want to specifically thank Spencer Dela Cruz for leading that application, but certainly a lot of support and help by members in community development as well as administrative services, and actually all of the departments helping out with this wonderful application. And I wish us the best of luck to not be just a finalist, but to win this time. So let's keep our fingers crossed. As a reminder, there's some announcements I think the mayor will announce about Patriot Day and keep Gardena beautiful, and food, wine, and beer festival that is coming up. There will also be a report on the vacant lot ordinance at the next council meeting with recommendations. This is a project that is being coordinated by the Community Development Department as well as the City Attorney's Office to provide the City Council some options. Also, one last thing, we have, two things. We have a cake for Councilman Tanaka after today's council meeting. So Mayor Serta, if you could remind everyone about that. And then lastly, many of you know, after approximately 32 years of service with the City of Gardena, my last day with the City of Gardena will be September 19th. It has been a wonderful journey working for this city. It is an amazing place to work with incredible people that work here, incredible people that live here, and incredible people that have their businesses here. My entire adult life has been here working for the City of Gardena, something I'm very, very proud of. Taking sort of a rough count since the time I became a deputy chief or chief till now, this is well over 300 council meetings, and this one will be my last. And it is bittersweet, but I've taken a position with the Department of Justice, and I'm looking forward to the next opportunity. I will tell you that our city is in very, very good hands. Fiscally, we're very strong. We have great employees. We have a vision for our future, and we have excellent leadership on this council. So I wish the city the best of luck, and it's sad, but I'm excited about new opportunities. So thank you.
Okay, so with that, we're going to move on to our council remarks. We're going to begin tonight with Mayor Pro Tem Kaskanian.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll make it very quick since we're going to have birthday cake inside for Councilman Tanaka. August the 29th, I attended, I would say, the grand opening or the opening for the Korean American adult class here in the city of Gardena. There was a lot of seniors that they were attending and trying to learn English, which I encouraged them. It's great. I was sitting in the class for a few minutes, and the teacher was doing his best. It's a great opportunity for those who they want to learn English, the Korean Americans. So please contact the city. They can contact the city, and they can get their information. Same day, that evening, I attended our mayor's 20th birthday party, and it was a great party across the street at the lodge. We had fun. And this past Friday, I attended a fundraising roller derby camp party for the Elks Lodge across the street. And the fundraising was for children that needed an attention or funds that they cannot provide to get the treatment necessary for them. So I attended the fundraising. It was a great night. And that's end of my report, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next is Councilmember Tanaka.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Since our last meeting, I'm happy to say I returned from Maui on a short vacation, and I'm sorry I missed your birthday party, but I did call you. We did a little FaceTime, so happy birthday. I promised her I'd call. Attended Officer Knapp, who was retired from our department, a celebration of his life, passed away from esophageal cancer. So we just, at the Elks, had the old timers came down and we celebrated his life. I attended the Little Sisters of the Poor fundraiser to help their facility. I went to the Gardena High School all-school picnic. That was at the Elks, and saw a lot of people that haven't seen for a long time, so that was a good thing. I presided over Sergeant Nick Pepper's stepdad's funeral, and it was a great celebration of his life also. Attended the SCOG, South Bay COG steering committee meeting. Did coffee with a cop this morning. And please attend Patriots Day tomorrow at 9 a.m. In our quad between the Nakoka and the police department. That is my report.
Okay, and next up is Councilmember Henderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Too, since the hour is long and cake awaits us, I'll definitely go quick. Since our last council meeting, a number of things. The mayor's birthday celebration, FaceTime with Councilman Tanaka, that was pretty good. Holly Park Homeowners Association meeting, a few community visits and phone calls, request to start up Open City Hall again. I told folks we'll see how that goes because that's always a cost involved in that with staff time and everything, so we'll see what happens with that. I attended a Construction 101 graduation with Playa Vista Jobs. What Construction 101, it helps those that are returning home from incarceration or veterans return home get opportunities in construction trades. And so they have a Construction 101 graduation that prepares them for helper opportunities within the labor unions and buildings and trades and everything. So as the board president, I got a chance to hand some folks their first tube belt and their Red Wing boots and everything like that. So it's good to see people get a fresh start. I also participated in a webinar, Artificial Intelligence in Government. I'm not sure where government is going in regards to artificial intelligence, but I guess we got to get prepared. Our city, I will say, definitely we've done quite a bit in regards to our use of technology and what we do as far as our council meetings and conveying important data to our community. That's a good thing. We also received a compliment from a couple of cities in Northern California to this body in regards of how we function as a body. So I wanted to thank my colleagues for that. It was just an informal conversation. Like, we've seen you guys over the web and watched it, and you guys really are functioning as a body. So we definitely want to keep it up. Absolutely. So I just wanted to share that as well as our relationship with staff. And also had a conversation with somebody about our economic development and everything. I think they held that tidbit back from me, but that's good. So hopefully we come away as winners as the city of Gardena. Madam Mayor, so ends my report.
Okay, thank you very much. And for myself, since the last council meeting, I attended the Okinawa 110th anniversary that was held at the Nakaoka Community Center. It was a great event. I also attended the Friends of the Library annual installation and anniversary celebration. Also on last Sunday, I attended the Patriots Day ceremony that was held at Gardena Torrance Baptist Church, where they recognized first responders. I'd like to thank our chief of police as well as officers who came out. Also our firefighters from, I can't remember if it was station 158 or 159 or both, could have been both. And just thank them for being there. And the church was very happy to thank them for their service along with the rest of the congregation. They were very pleased to be able to do that for them. Also, on yesterday, I attended the South Bay Association of Realtors meeting where they had a discussion on the homeless crisis, and the keynote speaker was Mayor Eric Garcetti. And I'd just like to thank the president of the South Bay Realtors Association, our city clerk, Ms. Mina Simenza. She was kind of doing like the interview. And for those of you who follow me on Facebook, I have most of it on there. You did an amazing job yesterday. So thank you and your organization for putting that together and just kind of hearing what the city of LA is doing and how they're dealing with the homeless crisis. There was one thing that really stood out. Mayor Garcetti mentioned that when he traveled to, I believe it was Albuquerque, New Mexico, one of the ideas they had there was paying some of the homeless people, I think it was like $14 an hour to clean up some of the encampments. And that was something that they were looking to model here. So it was just a great suggestion. We don't actually have camps here, but if we did, that is a suggestion, one of the ways to deal with it. Also, something else that was brought to our attention, one of the panelists was a officer from the city of Torrance, and he mentioned that when you call 911 to report someone who's homeless, if they're not committing a crime, there's really nothing they can do. I mean, unless they're in front of your business and you need them to move to the side, but if they're just sitting at a bus stop or just on a corner, you know, like I said, they have to be committing a crime. So I guess the laws have changed. Honestly, they've changed, but there's really not much they can do if they're just there because, unfortunately, they're just homeless. So that was really interesting hearing that information, how the homeless population has even grown in the city of Torrance as well. Also, I attended this morning Coffee with a Cop that was held at Starbucks on Crenshaw and Rosecrans. And for those of you who don't know, we have a new Starbucks there. It's a beautiful facility. It's very large, great indoor sitting area there. So we had a really large group there. So I'd like to thank the entire staff along with the chief for having a great Coffee with a Cop. It was supposed to be from 9 until 10:30. I didn't leave until 12. People were just still talking and having just a great time. So I'd like to just thank you guys for having that. I look forward to the next one. I believe they're going to have the big national Coffee with a Cop. So stay tuned for that. I think they're hoping to make that really big as well. Three more things here. The last, I just want to say to the entire city, thank you guys for getting us to become a finalist in the Eddie Awards. That is, it's a major thing. And just as the mayor and the city council, that's an amazing award. Just to be in the finalist group, I know in 2011 we made it to finalists, but I really believe this is going to be our year because we've made a lot of great changes to our community and what we're doing on the economic side. So I just want to say, even where we're at right now, thank you, congratulations. I think that's just a major thing. To Ed, I'd just like to congratulate you on your new opportunity and your new job. You're definitely going to be missed, but you've done an amazing job in all the roles that you've had here. You've been chief of police, community development director, public works. I think you've done just about everything here, and as well as you've been a great city manager. So you've definitely made your mark on Gardena. Oh, and a great friend. You're right. So definitely been a friend to all of us. So I'm very excited for you. It's going to be great to know that we'll all have a friend in the DOJ. So that'll be good as well too. Yeah, we might be calling you sooner than you think. But yes, congratulations on that. And then the last thing, I'd just like to just give a quick little special recognition to two of our firefighters from Station 158, which is right next door. And I don't know if you guys know it, but they have a special team called the USAR team. And Fire Captain Mike Shavarian, he's come over here before, but he's from our station next door. And firefighter paramedic Ryan Greenup and his canine, Coda, they were activated to assist in the rescue operation in the tropical cyclone Dorian that was in the Bahamas. So they received orders on September 4th, and there was a 52-member team that was on their way to the March Air Force Base before, I believe they were just put on standby. But it's just great to know that here in Gardena, some of our own were getting ready to be sent to the Bahamas because of their great skills in being able to help. So that's one of the great things that we have with LA County Fire. So I'd just like to say to them, I know we have a couple of reps in the back from one from 15A. Please share with them, thank you for just being prepared and ready. And it's just great to know that we have this specialized team, USAR. And one other thing I'd like to mention about this team here, when the Lucky Lady, when it collapsed, because our station next door has a special canine, I believe it's like a rescue dog there, we didn't have to wait long to have assistance. They were right here at 162nd here, and we were able to have them go over to the Lucky Lady immediately. So that's another great feature that we have with LA County. So I just like to say thank you, and I didn't even realize we had that little hidden gem here. So just a great little tidbit of information for you guys to know about. So with that, that ends my report, and next up is Councilmember Medina.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And again, congratulations to our city manager. I'm sure you'll make your mark up in Sacramento, and he promised he would still be assisting us and helping us in whatever it is that we need to keep the things going. And congratulations to Mr. Osorio. And since our last meeting, I came down with a nasty, ugly cold, and I couldn't make the birthday party, but I saw how much they were having a good time, and I think maybe I should have gone to the party and just got drunk. This way the cold would go away, but no, I decided I don't want to get anybody sick. So, and also, I attended the Korean ESL thing up at the Nakaoka Community Center, and I let them know that in the process of them learning a second language, it decreases the percentage of them having dementia or Alzheimer's, because if you're bilingual, you use both sides of your brain, and you have less chance of having dementia or Alzheimer's. And some of the people there didn't know that, and they were really proud the fact that they're learning English and they'll use two languages at the same time. So I thank the instructor over here on my left. Thank you for helping out. And I also delivered cakes to the convalescent homes. I do that every month, the last Friday of the month. And Waste Resources provides the money for the cakes, and I donate half sheets to the convalescents. And we have 7 of them in Gardena. And it's really fun to talk to them, because sometimes they don't get visitors other than the bald councilman that comes in with a cake, and we talk for a little bit, so it's a lot of fun. I also attended the SCAG, the Southern California Association of Governments, where we rejected a methodology from an outside source from the state of California, and we're going to have some input. All the cities in the South Bay will have an input as to how the RENA is going to be utilized as far as home development is concerned. And I'm really proud of the fact that SCAG stood up and voted against it, because it was basically set in concrete. And not all methodologies are set in concrete. There has to be some room for the gray and rather than black and white. So I'm really happy that we overturned that, and our cities will have some say-so with regards to how they're going to build homes and how they're going to have parking, and especially the homeless. And that ends my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So next I have a couple of announcements here. The first one, tomorrow we'll have our Patriots Day, and it's the 18th anniversary. So it's a commemorative ceremony, which will be, as I mentioned, tomorrow, Wednesday, September 11th. It'll be at 9 a.m. and it'll be on the City Hall lawn, which for those watching on TV is 1700 West 162nd Street. And again, that will be at 9 a.m. And we definitely encourage all of our residents to please come out and attend. Also, on tomorrow afternoon, we have a community meeting, which is going to be located at the G-Trans facility, and this is on voting solutions for all people. It's learn about the LA County's voting centers and the new voting experience. So it'll be at G-Trans tomorrow at 6:30 to 8 p.m. And again, for those of you who are watching on TV, the address is 13999 Southwestern Avenue. So what's changing? In 2020, the county will introduce this new voting system, the Voting Solution for All People. This system was custom designed for LA County voters. So if you'd like to learn more about that, please come to that meeting. You'll also have a second opportunity if you miss that meeting, which will be on Monday, September 16th at Raleigh Park at the second time around club meeting. So that will be at 1 o'clock, September 16th, Raleigh Park. And again, it will be your second opportunity to see how the voting experience will be changing. Also, on this coming Thursday, we'll have the promotion ceremony for our captain, Mike Safel. He will be promoted to deputy chief, so please come and join us. That will be this Thursday, September 12th at 10:30 a.m., and it will be here in the City Council chambers. On September 14th, we have something called a Workout to Remember. This here will be a special workout from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., again, Saturday, September 14th. And it's great to bring the entire family to Mas Fukai Park, which is located at 15800 South Brighton Avenue. There are several workout sessions from 10 to 10:15, 10:15 to 11 a.m., 11, 11:15, 11:15 to 12. They're all in 15-minute segments here. There is a $5 suggested donation, a great way for your entire family to come and work out together. So if you'd like more information from that, you can call 310-217-9537. Also, we have our annual Community Cleanup Day, which will be on September 21st, 2019. It will be from 8 a.m. till noon. For those who would like to participate in the event, or I'm sorry, in the Cleanup Day, you can contact our city manager's office. The number is 310-217-9503. Or if you like, you can email us at volunteer@cityofgardena.org. So it's for individuals, or if you have a group of people or your nonprofit, any way that you want to help out, we'll be willing to take it. So that's our annual cleanup day. And for your future planning, our Food, Wine, and Brew Festival will be Saturday, September 28th, 2019, from 12 to 6 p.m. This was formerly called our Food, Wine, and Cigar Festival, but now it's Food, Wine, and Brew, because there's beer now. There will, and still cigars. There'll be entertainment there. There'll be entertainment there. The Blues Breeze Band, Aaron Stevenson, Jay Boykin, Sgt. Pepper's, Beatles Tribute Band, along with more here. General tickets, admission is $20. VIP stage admission is $65, and the VIP cigar admission will be $65. So if you like to, if you have questions, you'd like to attend, don't know how to get tickets, you can call 310-217-9537. That ends the announcements. Let's see. So next we're going to move on to our remembrances here. So tonight we're going to adjourn our memory in memory of all of those who lost their lives as a result of the terrorist attacks within the United States on September 11, 2001. We're also going to adjourn in memory of Mrs. Frances Alice Greco Langans, who was 92 years of age, a longtime resident of Gardena, and the beloved mother of former City of Gardena personnel technician Janice Greco, who retired in April of 2012 after 45 years of service in the Personnel Division of the City Manager's Office. We're also going to adjourn in memory of Mrs. Ernestina Madrid Lopez, who was 90 years old, and the beloved aunt of Customer Service Clerk Elva Bayardo in the City of Gardena City Clerk's Office. We're also going to adjourn in memory of Mr. Napoleon DeBis, who was 64 years of age, a former City of Gardena police service officer who retired in May of 2013 after over 20 years of service in the police department. And lastly, we're going to adjourn in memory of Mr. Harvey Sladen, who was 87 years old. He was a former firefighter engineer who retired in the 1990s after 20-plus years of service as a member of the City of Gardena Fire Department. So we have one more announcement.
Yes. Before we adjourn, I would like to invite everyone to our the back room to celebrate our Mr. Tanaka, or Councilman Tanaka's birthday celebration, and we're going to have delicious cake. So everybody is invited. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say beer. Delicious beer.
I was going to say beer, but I'm thinking about.
Okay. Threw me off here. Okay, so the Gardena City Council will adjourn to our next regularly scheduled City Council meeting, which will be at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Sorry. Tuesday, September 24, 2019. We are adjourned.
No whiskey, beer.